Happy 4th of July, everybody. Hope y'all are having a good day. I'm just popping in here to do something because I'm actually bored sitting here alone at the house. My wife is out and getting ready for the celebration later tonight for us. But it's been a while here, about a week since I've done something. Abel is not with us again. He is out covering protests. It's going good, Joseph. Hope you're doing good yourself, man. Um, but he's going to another protest in Dallas again, and a lot has actually happened in this past week. I've been trying to bring more here, but been working my hats off in my other job, and I felt bad. Like, what was it? Thursday. I just could not function at all. So we had to rearrange some things here. But last Tuesday, I covered a story about Cassidy Hutchinson uh, speaking hearsay in the hearing, saying that I heard from somebody else about the Secret Service agent saying that Trump jumped over the seats and tried to grab the steering wheel of the motorcade because they wouldn't take him to the Capitol, and then tried to grab the Trump's throat and everything. It's all just hearsay bullshit, and apparently they let it happen. Um, However, the Secret Service agent, both of the Secret Service agents that she had mentioned in that hearing, have come out and said they're willing to testify against her, saying that Trump never did that. Okay. Don't really see him being able to jump over a seat, grab a steering wheel, and put his hands around a Secret Service agent's neck like that in any way, demanding to take him to the Capitol because he's the president. I don't believe that ever happened. However, um, some news anchors and Adam Kinzinger has come out and said that the Secret Service agents who are wanting to testify against Cassidy Hutchinson are known to be liars. Yeah, sounds about right, huh? She comes up saying a whole bunch of bullshit, and Secret Service agents that were there that she had mentioned says, no, she's lying, and everybody else is like, no, 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 those Secret Service agents are lying. Sounds about right. Also, we have a shooting that just happened in Chicago at a July 4th parade, Independence Day parade, as they call it. Supreme Court has ruled to restrict the access of what the Environmental Protection Agency can and cannot do. There is a petition out now to remove Justice Clarence Thomas, from the stand after his abortion ruling. And that's kind of a funny issue. And we're going to go into a little bit into the Jalen Walker shooting, where a man was running from the police and apparently shot over 60 times. We got some body camera footage we're going to go over as well for that, just to kind of give a real look into what happened and not just what the media says. But again, Abel is not with us today. We do have some other things that are trying to be lined up. I got to get that going as far as that's concerned. But for right now, ladies and gentlemen, let's just get into this. All right. So I think it was last Tuesday, I had talked about Cassidy Hutchinson reporting to the January 6th committee about her saying that, Trump wanted to grab the steering wheel, jumped over the seats, grabbed the steering wheel. Let's just do a little recap here. As soon as this is done, apparently. I need some ad blockers and things, but then I couldn't get into the stories.
Turn now to what happened in the president's vehicle when the Secret Service told him he would not be going to the Capitol after his speech.
Tony proceeded to tell me that
yeah, whatever,
when the
Abel.
president got in the beast, he was under the impression from Mr. Meadows that the off-the-record movement to the Capitol was still possible and likely to happen, but that Bobby had more information. So once the president had gotten into the vehicle with Bobby, he thought that they were going up to the Capitol, and when Bobby had relayed to him, "We're not, we don't have the assets to do it, it's not secure, we're going back to the West Wing," the president had very strong, a very angry response to that.
I just want to hold up. Let's just back this up a bit here for a second. Body language tells it all.
Response to that.
Look, she's looking away.
Tony described him as being irate. The president said something to the effect of, "I'm the effing president. Take me up to the
Hold
Capitol."
on. Let's back it up a little more.
With Bobby, he thought that they were going up to the Capitol, and when Bobby had relayed to him, "We're not, we don't have the assets to do it, it's not secure, we're going back to the West Wing," the president
Just keeps looking away from it.
very strong, very angry.
There's almost a smile on her face right here. Almost a smile, like she's trying to force not to smile, like that whole
response to that. Tony described him as being irate. The president said something to the effect of, "I'm the effing president. Take me up to the Capitol now." To which Bobby responded, "Sir, we have to go back to the West Wing." The president reached up towards the front of the vehicle to grab at the steering wheel. Mr. Engel grabbed his arm, said, "Sir, you need to take your hand off the steering wheel. We're going back to the West Wing. We're not going to the Capitol." Mr. Trump then used his free hand to lunge towards Bobby Engel. And when Mr. Ornato had recounted this story to me, he had motioned towards his clavicles.
Okay. So that's the whole gist of the whole thing. Now, she goes on for hours on end, spewing just random nonsense bullshit that somebody had told her about somebody else doing this and this and this and this. And look, hearsay is not admissible in a hearing, in court, or anything of that nature. I cannot sit here and tell you a story unless you were there present. I cannot sit here and tell you a story about what you have done or said against somebody else unless you were there. Unless you were the one on stand as well. Or unless it is you were the one that is on trial or for the hearing or whatever the hell you want to call it. Now, a lot of news media organizations have come out saying, "Oh, she's brave because she has nothing to gain from." Are you serious? She has nothing to gain? How many other times have we seen people come out like this and then they go on to get huge promotions or take jobs within the government or something like that? I mean, shit. Look at Biden's administration. What are they filled with? There's Facebook executives, Twitter executives, all this shit. And you're going to sit there and tell me she has nothing to gain for lying? Really? Come on now. But not too long after that, the Secret Service agent that supposedly she was talking about that grabbed his neck, and another one that she had mentioned within that, had come out and was saying, "Look, I'm willing to testify." Hours after this hearing, they're like, "Look, I'm willing to testify that she straight up lied about everything." And of course, we got some back and forth. No, they're a liar. No, they're a liar, pointing fingers and shit. But let's get into this. This comes from The Guardian. Secret Service agent reportedly willing to testify Trump did not lunge at him. Secret Service agents are reportedly prepared to testify that Donald Trump did not lunge for the wheel of his vehicle or physically attack the chief of his security detail as after his speech near the White House on January 6th, as a former aide said he did in sworn testimony Tuesday. The row follows the explosive testimony to the House January 6th committee, which painted an unhinged and violent portrait of Trump on the day of the Capitol attack. In a shocking hearing, many have seen potentially loosening the former president's grip on the Republican Party. CNN and other outlets reportedly pushed back on the alleged Secret Service incident from Tony Ornato, who was a deputy chief of staff in the Trump White House, and Robert Engel, who was Trump's security chief. Separately on Wednesday, Liz Cheney, the Republican committee vice chair, called for Trump's White House counsel, Pat Cipollone, to testify. Cheney said, as we heard yesterday, Pat Cipollone had significant concerns regarding Trump's January 6 activities. It's time for Mr. Cipollone to testify on the record. Any concerns he has about the institutional interest of his prior office were outweighed by the need of his testimony. On Tuesday, Cassidy Hutchinson, a former aide to Trump, and his official chief of staff, Mark Meadows, appeared before the House January 6 committee for the sixth public hearing. An extraordinary testimonies spanned nearly 2 hours. In particularly striking passages, she described what she said Tony Ornato had told her was Trump's reaction to being told that after speaking to the supporters at the Ellipse and telling the crowd he knew in part to be armed to fight like hell. No, he never said any of that. I mean, he did say fight like hell, but they weren't armed. By the way, there are reports about the people showing up to this speech with AR-15s and various other weapons, and then supposedly just leaving them there. Like, who the fuck does that? You're gonna spend $12,000 to $2,000 on an AR-15 and just leave it there? Like, none of that makes any fucking sense. But, and telling the crowd he knew in part to be armed to fight like hell to overturn his election defeat. None of that was ever fucking said or mentioned or anything like that. He said, fight like hell, because if you don't, you're not going to have a country left. And guess what? It's happening. He could not go to the crowd on the U.S. Capitol as planned. Hutchinson, 25, testified that Ornato told her Trump had a very strong and very angry response. Trump allegedly told Engel, I'm the fucking president. Take me to the Capitol now. When he was turned down, Hutchinson said Trump tried to seize the steering wheel. Engel grabbed his arm and said, sir, you need to take your hand off the steering wheel. We're going back to the West Wing. We're not going to the Capitol. Hutchinson said Trump then used his free hand to lunge towards Bobby Engel. And when Ornato recounted the story to me, he motioned towards his clavicles. Let's break this down for a second, please. All right. So this fat fuck, number one, is going to jump over seats. And let's just play this out in both scenarios. With this hand, he grabs the steering wheel. Okay. Now he's got a Secret Service agent putting his hand on his wrist saying release. With this hand, he reaches for his neck. Like, is this not awkward as fuck to do? I don't see that happening. Now, let's reverse the hands. He grabs the steering wheel with this one and then reaches over himself to grab the neck here. That makes no sense. If that were the case, he would have taken his hand off the steering wheel and put his hand on his... Yeah, you get my point. It makes no damn sense. All of her story was just bullshit. You can tell by multiple times she actually tries to suppress smiling. She's looking away constantly, like her eyes are just all over the place until she finds her story, finds what she wants to say, and then she's looking directly at the committee. And then starts looking away again until she finds that sentence one more fucking body language. Body language is everything. That bitch is lying. I don't even give a shit if Orange Man was fucking violent or whatever like that. That bitch straight up fucking lied. But, let's see. Question by Liz Cheney, the committee vice chair. Hutchinson said Engel did not dispute the account when Ornato related. But both of them are willing to call you a fucking liar. In the aftermath of the explosive hearing, Hutchinson was depicted as former Trump loyalist whose testimony could prove hugely damaging in the vein of John Dean, the White House counsel who turned on Richard Nixon during the Watergate hearings half a century ago. Nixon resigned to the presidency under threat of impeachment. Trump was impeached for the second time over the insurrection, but acquitted when only 7 Republican senators voted for his guilt. He remains free to run free to run for the White House again in 2024, which is why they are doing this. If you can't beat your political opponents, just make sure they can't run again, right? Yeah. Give me a second, guys. Sorry, guys. Wife called. Always happens. But yeah. Back to what I was saying here. Like the whole thing is just like it's complete bullshit, and that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to go after him because they know they can't beat him politically, especially with Biden's presidency is how he's running the fucking country into the damn ground, fucking up everybody. They know they can't win, so they're gonna go through this shit and finish up to try and get him to, best way to put it, try and make it to where he can't run again for president. It says Nixon resigned the presidency under threat of impeachment. Trump was impeached for a second time over the insurrection. Oh, yeah, we already. On Tuesday, reporters swiftly relayed the news that the Secret Service agent disputed Hutchinson's account of events on the presidential vehicle. Carol Leoning of the Washington Post, author of 2 books. I don't give a shit what she's written. Goddamn. All right. Shut the fuck up with the Discord shit. Get the hell out of that. Y'all just keep fucking off all day. Sources tell me that agents dispute that Donald Trump assaulted any agent who tried to grab the steering wheel on January 6th. They agreed Trump was furious about not being able to go to the Capitol with his supporters. They offered to testify under oath. So, the two people that she was talking about in her hearsay bullshit offered to testify under oath that she is lying. I'm willing to hear it out. I'm willing to hear what the fuck they've got to say. Guys, stop with the goddamn... I'm muting this fucking server bullshit. I don't want to hear it anymore. Fuck. Anyway, earlier this month, Politico reported that Engel had given private testimony to the January 6th committee. The website said Engel told investigators he and Trump discussed Trump's desire to go to the Capitol and took different views on the topic. Engel noted that they went back to the White House instead of heading to the Capitol. Trump attacked Hutchinson during the Tuesday's hearing using his True Social platform to call her a phony and a leaker and a wacko. He denied grabbing the steering wheel or attacking an agent. I mean, I'm going to call her a straight up fucking liar too. The pretty face did not sway me in any way with what she was saying. Republicans on the House Judiciary Committee tweeted that Hutchinson's evidence was all hearsay and added, "What a joke." It is hearsay. It is hearsay. Number one, she wasn't there. She's just telling a story about what somebody had told her before. I can tell you a story. It can be all complete bullshit. And it's not admissible in hearings or courts or any discovery phase of anything at all. It's all inadmissible. This is a fucking joke. But Steve Alec, a law professor at University of Texas in Austin, said, "Don't be distracted by the claims of hearsay. That goes to whether evidence can be admitted in court, not Congress. This is a hearing to discover evidence for a court case. Just because it's Congress doesn't mean a fucking thing, son. This entire fucking hearing has never brought up anything of any value of evidence whatsoever." This just went off. There's no reason for me to have it on. They brought up nothing of any real value or evidence at all. And even the evidence that they have while they show on screen contradicts what the fuck they're saying. The key is that Hutchinson testifies under oath. If she was lying, she faces felony charges. Does she, though? Because nobody's held to account for any of that shit ever. I mean, look at Amber Heard. Jesus Christ. Everything she said on stand under oath was a straight fucking lie. That bitch is free to walk the fucking planet and take private fucking planes while she claims to be broke. That's dumb as shit, but whatever. The same can't be said for those trying to discredit her testimony. Oh, wait. So you're saying she faces charges if she's lying, but anybody else that tries to discredit her doesn't face charges? Really? Really? This fucking law professor from the University of Texas is lying about the law? Okay. Most observers thought the case for Trump facing felony charges increased after Tuesday's hearing, particularly regarding Hutchinson's testimony that Trump knew the crowd he sent to the Capitol was armed. What were they armed with? What were they fucking armed with? Because reports, like I said earlier, reports came out that they were armed with handguns and AR-15s, but apparently had left them? Again, who the fuck does that? They were armed? Shut the fuck up. Cheney's disclosure that the committee believes Trump had tried to intimidate witnesses, including Hutchinson, according to Punchbowl's News. No. Also, an excited comment about possible charges. Lawrence Tribe, a Harvard law professor, another lying law professor, said the new evidence against Trump was devastating for inciting and aiding and abetting violent insurrection by saying peacefully, march to the Capitol and peacefully let your voice be heard, because if you don't, you need to fight like hell, because if you don't, you won't have a country left. What? To achieve world government is necessary to remove the minds of the men of their individualism, loyalty to family traditions, national patriotism, and religious dogma. Rock Adams, United Nations. That is 100% true. I mean, look at the cult mantra. Everybody fucking chants now. They literally wait for somebody to say something about it, and then they just repeat it constantly. They have no actual individual thought of their own. They just go after what everybody else says, including with the abortion bullshit. But yeah, in politics, nothing happens by accident. If it happens, it was planned that way. Exactly. This whole thing is to make sure that Trump can't run again. That's what it is. They can't beat him politically, so they're going to make sure the dude can't run again. And I'm going to be completely honest with you. A lot of people, even Trump supporters, a lot of people, if put up with Trump supporters against DeSantis, they would vote DeSantis over Trump. Y'all motherfuckers are going after the wrong people, and you don't even realize it. But you've started this snowball bullshit here, so you got to finish it out while DeSantis tramples all over you, motherfucker. Sorry to say it. I'm not sorry. I really am. Let's see. Tribe also said whatever anybody says about the Department of Justice, reluctant to the incident Trump. What? Whatever anybody says about the Department of Justice, reluctance to indict Trump, reluctance in Arbor. What? Words. Failing to indict Mark Meadows along with Jeffrey Clark, John Eastman, Rudy Giuliani, and Sidney Powell would be a travesty. Failing to indict anybody and everybody that spoke the fuck up that day or anything about the election. Failing to indict them is a travesty. What about 2016? When Hillary Clinton lost, what the fuck were they screaming? But nobody was indicted over that shit, huh? Yeah. Nobody was indicted over that shit. Russiagate was found to be a fucking lie. It's all been a witch hunt against this orange fucking man. It's all been a witch hunt against him from the very fucking beginning because he wasn't supposed to win. We were supposed to have Hillary Clinton. But they did not expect the American people overwhelmingly to say, go fuck you, Clinton. We know what you've done. We damn sure don't want you as our president. I think my wife just got home too. Yep. Give me a second. All right, sorry about that. My wife just came home. But yeah. But yeah, this whole thing is just it's been a fucking witch hunt to try and discredit him so he can't run again. While DeSantis gains more speed towards that than Trump does. Good fucking job. Good job. If you can't beat your opponent, make sure they never can fucking run again. That's the whole Democratic platform now, is it not? Y'all used to be the party of the people. And now you're the party that wants to destroy the people. Yeah. Let's see. Hutchinson described Meadows' behavior on and around January 6th on the chief of staff, said was unwilling to confront Trump, but eager to be included in meetings involving Giuliani, Eastman, and other Trump allies plotting to overturn the election. Meadows and Giuliani, Hutchinson said, asked about being given presidential pardons before Trump left office. I mean, for a fucking witch hunt of lies. Yeah. Yeah. I would want a fucking pardon. If you're going to sit there and try to literally frame me into something I'm not, yeah. before you leave, hey, how about you do something? Vladik also said, "Holy s that hearing." You read 6 articles in the last year. Why is this on? Okay, so again, they didn't really say anything other than the fact that the people that she had mentioned are willing to testify that she's a liar. And then they went on to say, recap every damn thing that she said, trying to make it seem like it's a thing. But I should have had this up here. This comes from Fox News, January 6th committee's Kinzinger, Secret Service agent who may dispute Hutchinson's claims, likes to lie. This seems like some high school, or not high school, but elementary school, kindergarten playground bullshit of "I know you are, but what am I?" This is what it all is. I know you are, but what am I? Secret Service agent Tony Ornato prepared to testify against claim that former President Donald Trump lunged at steering wheel, sources say. I'm not going to play the little video. Representative Adam Kinzinger claimed Thursday that the Secret Service agent who may testify. I doubt they're going to let anybody testify. There has been no dissenting voices and no opposing voices at all throughout this entire thing. So what makes you think that they're going to let somebody say, "No, I was there. I was the driver. That is a lie"? What makes you think they're going to let that motherfucker stand up and say that? There has been no dissenting voice, no cross-examination, no pushback whatsoever. So you think they're going to let him go up on stage and call her a liar? Fuck no. Let's see. Claimed Thursday, the Secret Service agent who may testify before the January 6th committee about the timeline of events that unfolded around former President Donald Trump's during the riot likes to lie. 2 Secret Service agents, Tony Ornato and Robert Engel, are prepared to testify. The one she had mentioned, by the way, testify before Congress that then President Donald Trump did not lunge at his steering wheel or assault them in the attempt to go after the Capitol during the January 6th riot. I like how they're calling it a riot now instead of insurrection. A source close to the Secret Service told Fox News' David Spunk this week the explosive new allegations were made on Tuesday by Cassidy Hutchinson, a former top aide, Trump White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows. A series of social media posts accumulated this week in which colleagues and opponents of Ornato have accused him of failing to tell the truth in the past and being a habitual liar. Of course, I know you are, but what am I? Tony Ornato sure seems to deny conversations he apparently had, claiming Olivia Troy, former White House Homeland Security advisor under Mike Pence. First, this one with Keith Kellogg and "I alone can fix it," and now he's denying the story he told Cassidy Hutchinson. Those of us who worked with Tony only knew where his loyalty lies. He should testify under oath. Let me ask you a question. If he's known to be a liar, what makes you think that he wasn't lying to her when he said all this? If he's a known liar, then what stops him from lying about all this to her? I don't understand. I don't get it. It's political bullshit. From a tweet from Adam Kinzinger, there seems to be a major thread here. Tony Ornato likes to lie. Responding to Alyssa Farah Griffith, Tony Ornato lied about Me Too during the protest at Lafayette Square in 2020. I told Mark Meadows and Ornato that they needed to warn press staged there before clearing the square. Mark Meadows replied, "We aren't doing that." Tony later lied and said the exchange never happened. He knows it did. Blue check mark on Twitter. Damn near every single one of them fucking lie. Damn near every single fucking one of them lie. You got a lot to gain. You think I'm going to believe your blue check mark? With your fake followers and fake accounts and bots on there trying to back you the fuck up? Okay. Tony Ornato lied to me too. Said CNN's. Oh, yeah, there's where it is. CNN's Alyssa Farah Griffith. CNN sounds about fucking right. CNN has lied about every damn thing. During the protests at Lafayette Square in 2020, I told Mark Meadows and Ornato that they needed to warn press staged there before clearing the square. We aren't doing that. CNN, everybody at CNN is either pedophilic or lying, so do I believe you? Fuck no. She added, Tony later lied and said the exchange never happened. He knows it did. Even CNN's executives have been caught on Project Veritas saying, we're lying about this, we're lying about that. But yet you want me to believe this? Seriously? Okay. The whirlwind of attacks on Ornato's trustworthiness caught the attention of Kinzinger, who publicly commented that Ornato lies often. Fuck. Words. There seems to be a major threat here. Tony Ornato likes to lie, Kinzinger wrote. How many times have you been caught lying? With your little... I'm not even going to go there. That's just the... Dude, what the fuck kind of look is this? Are you trying to intimidate with this look? Because I want to smack the shit out of you and laugh in your face for trying this. Whatever. You're fucking pathetic. You've been caught lying time and time again, and then you want to say, oh, somebody else likes to lie? Yeah, go fuck yourself, Kinzinger. Representative Liz Cheney, who, let's admit, has been one of the biggest fucking liars of this whole goddamn thing. Liz Cheney declined to comment that the possibility of Secret Service members testifying in front of January 6th committee after two agents disputed claims about Trump's behavior during the riots. She declined to comment because they're not going to be able to say anything. There has been no dissenting voices, no cross-examination whatsoever in any of this. In any of it. So do you think these people who she was able to speak hearsay of and pretty much lie about, do you think those people are going to be able to say up and say, no, she's a liar, that shit never happened? No. They won't hear that shit. They're not going to waste their time looking into something that may break their narrative. Why would they? When pressed on whether the Secret Service members would speak on growing narrative discrepancies in witnesses' testimony, Cheney demurred. The committee has spoken to both Mr. Ornato and Mr. Engel, and we welcome additional testimony under oath for both of them. And from anybody else in the Secret Service who has information about any of these issues. Bet they won't take the fucking stand. Bet they won't raise their fucking hand. But you say they're welcome, right? Shut up. So yeah. This is schoolyard, like kindergarten bullshit. Somebody says something, then that person says, no, they're lying. And then all of a sudden it's, no, you're the liar. No, I know you are, but what am I? I know you are, but what am I? That's this whole fucking thing. This is all it is. It's pathetic as shit. And these are our fucking leaders. These are our representatives. To play this kindergarten bullshit? Come on. Come the fuck on. And you wonder why Liz Cheney is out the fucking door. Like, she's losing tremendously. And then you got this little... I guess you're trying to be intimidating, but you look like a serial killer pedophile. Whatever, dude. I know you are, but what am I? All right. So we're going to move on here. Apparently, this happened today, as a matter of fact. In Chicago, during a July 4th parade. Apparently, there was somebody who opened fire, killing and wounding a whole bunch of people. We're going to find out exactly what they want to say about that. 6 dead, 24 wounded in a shooting at Chicago area July 4th parade. A gunman opened fire on Independence Day parade in suburban Chicago on Monday. In Highland Park, Illinois, a gunman opened fire on Independence Day parade in suburb in Chicago on Monday, killing at least 6 people, wounding 24, and sending hundreds of marchers, parents with strollers, and children on bicycles fleeing in terror, police said. The suspect, who had apparently fired from a concealed spot on a rooftop, remained on the loose hours later, and authorities scoured the area. Highland Park I'm gonna read this whole thing before I speak about any of this real quick. Highland Park Police Commander Chris O'Neill, the incident commander on scene, urged people to shelter in place as authorities search for the suspect. The July 4th shooting was the latest to shatter the rituals of American life. Schools, churches, grocery stores, and now community parades have become killing grounds in recent months. This time, the bloodshed came as a nation tried to find cause to celebrate its founding and the bonds that still hold it together. Very patriotic, ABC. Mayor Nancy Rottering said that the violence has shaken us to our core, adding, one day that we came together to celebrate community and freedom, we are instead mourning the tragic loss of life and struggling with the terror that was brought upon us. The shooting occurred at a spot on the parade route where many residents had stacked out prime viewing points earlier in the day of the annual celebration. But dozens of fired bullets sent hundreds of parade goers, some visibly bloodied, fleeing. They left a trail of abandoned items and showed everyday life that suddenly violently disrupted. A half-eaten bag of potato chips, a box of chocolate cookies spilled on the ground, a child's Chicago Cubs cap. They're right there. Right there is your appeal to emotion. Right there is your appeal to emotion. Let's get mad about it, people, because a Chicago Cubs cap was on the ground. Mm-hmm. There's your appeal to emotion. I mean, that's not what they're trying to get you pissy about, but you get my point. Lake County Mayor Crime Task Force spokesperson Christopher Pavetti said several of the deceased victims died at the scene and was taken into a hospital and died there. And one was taken to a hospital and died there. Police have not released details about the victims or the wounded. Authorities said the shooter opened fire around 10:15 a.m., where the parade was about 3/4 through. I'm going to wait. Covelli said that at news conference, the gunman apparently used a high-powered rifle to fire from a spot atop a building where he was very difficult to see, and said the rifle was recovered at the scene. Very random, very intentional, and very sad. President Joe Biden last month signed the widest-ranging gun violence bill passed by Congress in decades. Connection. We're going to go back to that. A compromise that showed at once both progress on a long, intricable issue in the deep-seated partisan divide that persists. Biden on Monday said as the First Lady Joe Biden were shocked by the senseless gun violence that had yet again brought grief into the American community on this Independence Day. And he said he had surged fellow law enforcement to assist in the urgent search for the shooter who remains at large at this time. Police believe there was only one shooter, but warned that he should still be considered armed and dangerous. Several nearby cities canceled events, including parades and fireworks. Some of them noting that the Highland Park shooter was still at large. Evanston, Deerfield, Skokie, Waukegan, and Glencoe. Why is it fucking Ohio, Wisconsin, and all those what is it? The Great Lakes states? Why do they have some really fucked up city names? From the past, from when they were settled, the types of people that settled those areas. I get you. Okay, whatever. I just answered my own question. You have a tragic mass act of violence that was random here today at a committee event where people were gathered to celebrate, and the offender had not been apprehended thus far. Covelli, the crime task force spokesperson, said, "Should this happen again, we don't know what his intentions are at this point, so certainly we're not sure of that." More than 100 law enforcement officers were called to the parade scene, were dispatched to find suspected shooter. Hours after the shooting, law enforcement officers searched an office building near where the shooting occurred. Nearby, an armed FBI agents in camouflage escorted a family with two small girls across the street. Hours after the shooting, the children looked visibly frightened, even as their mother attempted to reassure them that the agents were leading and flanking them would protect them. Again, there's your another appeal to emotion. Let's talk about the little kids. Let's talk about people. Let's not talk about what happened. Let's talk about the people. The ones who were scared, the ones who were afraid. Let's talk about them instead of actually bringing the real information to you. Armed FBI agents in camouflage escorted a family with two small girls across the street. Hours after the shooting, the children... I was already there. Don't worry. Did they not? They literally... except for the beginning of that, they literally just copy and pasted. "Don't worry, you're safe now," she told them. "These guys will protect you." Ominous signs of joyous events suddenly turned to horror, filled both sides of Central Street where the shooting occurred. Dozens of baby strollers. I'm not going to. We get it. They're just going to keep going on about this. Here's the thing. Here's what really, really, really gets me. Let's bring this picture out from just this. Why is it that most of these shootings now are around holidays? Why is it that the Buffalo shooting was an admitted racist, white supremacist, leftist authoritarian that was propped up, and all of a sudden, well, that person's the bad guy. The person is the bad guy. The ideology is a bad guy. But Uvalde, the gun's the problem. Why does this keep popping up time and time and time again, where it just seems to be around holidays or special events? It seems to me like all this is like he just passed that gun reform thing, right? Can't stop there. Can't stop there. I'm starting to think that a lot of these things are false flag events. I'm starting to think that they're set up. How many times in 2020 alone, 2020, did we see the FBI be involved in a lot of shady dealings? Case in point, the Gretchen Whitmer kidnapping. Y'all remember that? 12 of the 18 people? 2/3 of the people that were plotting to kidnap Governor Stretch and Gretchen They were FBI or FBI informants. Y'all remember that? And then suddenly they were armed on January 6th, 2020, and for some reason left their weapons sitting there when they went to the Capitol. What? You got the Buffalo shooter, who was a admitted leftist, authoritarian, racist piece of shit who went around shooting unarmed civilians at a grocery store. What about the dude in the subway in New York who shot people in the subway in New York? I'm sure you guys remember that. Fucking the Las Vegas shooting. You guys remember that shit? You know, the shooting that happened in Las Vegas at a music festival? Have you ever really looked into that? Because that dude brought like 25 hard suitcases into his room, and he was only supposed to be there for a few days. He brought all those suitcases, and nobody thought to question why the fuck you're bringing so many suitcases up here. Nobody thought to question that. Yeah. And then the cops sit outside of Uvalde, the school in Uvalde there, and let a gunman gun down children. They let him fucking do it. So why is it we're seeing this right now? Well, why is it that this is becoming a thing? Yeah. False flag events left and fucking right to make you willingly give up your guns because they can't take them forcefully. I'm not going to lie, and I'm not going to mix up fucking words. That's what it is. I don't give a shit what you guys want to say or how you want to feel about it. False flag events left and fucking right here. Now, I will admit, shootings have occurred, but like this, in rapid succession. How many have we had here in the past 2-3 years? How many have we had? Mind you, this is Biden's America right now. How many have we had? Starting to see a fucking trend of it damn near it happening weekly. Damn near weekly at this point. Yeah. Okay. The fact that this dude actually just like sat on top of a rooftop and left his weapon as he tried to get away. Well, as he did get away, apparently. Now, I can understand why. But again, who has $1,200 to $2,000 to just throw away like that? Who has that? Where is that coming from? Look at the kid for Uvalde. He bought a new truck, had damn near $10,000, or actually with the body armor and everything, over $10,000 worth of equipment on him. Hundreds of rounds of ammunition. Where did he get that money from? Working at Wendy's? Are you fucking kidding me? What? This just smells fishy as fuck. Every bit of this just red flag, red flag, red flag. We're talking about red flag laws. Let's red flag the fuck out of the federal government. Let's red flag the FBI. Let's red flag the ATF. Let's red flag all these fucking people. Because something about every bit of this just doesn't seem right. But let's move on to the next one here. Oh, I guess I should have went back up to the title here from NPR. Supreme Court restricts the EPA's authority to mandate carbon emissions reductions. The U.S. Supreme Court on Thursday dealt a major blow to the Environmental Protection Agency's power to regulate carbon emissions that cause climate change. Climate change. We've been hearing that boogeyman for decades. Let's see. The decision by the conservative court. The decision by the conservative court. The framing. Well done. That was subtle. Well done. Majority sets the stage for further limitations on the regulatory power of the agencies. By a vote of 6-3, the court said that anytime the agency does something big and new, in this case addressing climate change, the regulation was presumptively invalid, unless Congress has specifically authorized regulating in the sphere. That's a very big deal because they're not going to get it from Congress because Congress is essentially dysfunctional, said Harvard law professor Richardson Lazarus. Here we go, the appeal to authority. Harvard law professor. An expert on environmental law. An expert? I wouldn't say expert. Cult member. This could not have come at a worse time because the consequences of climate change are increasingly dire and we're running out of time to address it. Okay, we're running out of time to address it. We're running out of time to address that historically throughout its inception of a planet. The planet has gone through very, very, very hot years to ice age years to very hot, the ice age to very hot. It's a cycle. But somehow, this one's going to win the planet. Okay. Now, I don't deny that humankind has probably sped up the process. I mean, we are wasteful pieces of shit. But the planet does this shit in cycles. And y'all motherfuckers ignore that shit. Okay. Good fucking job, sir. As Case Western Reserve professor Jonathan Adler put it, again, another appeal to authority, the court is definitely sending a signal to regulatory agencies more broadly than that they only have the power that Congress delegated to them, and that the agencies need to think twice before they try to pour new wine out of old bottles. What? The court is definitely sending a signal to regulatory agencies more broadly that they only have the power that Congress delegated them. No! That's not how the Supreme Court runs. That's not how they... We have 3 branches of government, and each branch of government has checks and balances against the other. Congress does not delegate anything to the fucking Supreme Court, you stupid fucking asshole. Jesus fucking Christ, the stupidity is the biggest fucking pandemic of this planet. And every fucking article that comes out proves that fucking point. Not a single one of these motherfuckers understand how our government functions. Jesus fucking Christ. Whatever happened to the fucking... Whatever happened to, like, what was it, social studies and government class in school? Whatever happened to the people being taught the 3 branches of government and the separation of powers and the checks and balances and everything like that? Whatever happened to teaching kids like that? I remember that shit. Apparently, these motherfuckers don't. Actually, I guarantee you they do. They're just lying about it because they think you're too stupid not to know. In other words, an agency can't simply retrofit an old statute to create new tools or new mechanisms to address a problem that is generally within the agency's jurisdiction. Let me reread that. An agency simply cannot retrofit an old statute to create new tools or new mechanisms to address a problem that is generally within the agency's jurisdiction. Huh? I'll be at a protest tonight. Wish me luck. Yeah, be careful. Be careful, Abel. You've already seen what I've been telling you about that shit. You've seen firsthand how that shit can get out of hand. In terms of climate change, Lazarus believes it will have an immediate effect. Remember when Joe Biden was elected and said we're going to use a whole big government approach to climate change, not just EPA regulation? Well, that whole government approach may now find itself under a cloud of this court's opinion. Opinion? Well, let's see. What does the Supreme Court do? They hear cases and rule on the constitutionality of those cases. If it is not covered under the Constitution, it is stricken down and therefore given back to the states. If the federal fucking government cannot rule on it, cannot regulate it, it is therefore in the hands of the fucking state. And that is what the Supreme Court is for, ladies and gentlemen. History lesson. Broad history lesson. The issue before the court was how the EPA can regulate coal-fired power plants. Oh, wait. Hold on. We're supposed to be moving towards electric vehicles. These electric vehicles are powered by coal-fired power plants. For the most part. There are some nuclear power plants and natural gas power plants, but solar and wind cannot keep up with the fucking demand. But yeah, you want to go after the coal-fired power plants. You want to go after everything else because of climate change, while you try to push us towards electric vehicles that cannot be supported through our energy grid on solar and wind. You get it yet? Which in this country are single largest source of carbon emissions that cause climate change. Oh. Yeah. Cow farts cause climate change too. Let's just stop the cows from farting. Shove butt plugs up the cows' asses. They can't fart no more. The methane that gets put in the atmosphere causes a greenhouse effect. Cows can't fart anymore. The Obama administration set state-by-state carbon limits and encouraged the states to rely less likely on coal and more alternative energy sources. Even though the program was blocked by the courts, it met its targets 11 years ahead of schedule for the simple reason that it turned out coal was too expensive compared to other power generating sources. Is it? Or was that a straight up fucking lie? Compared to what goes into green energy supplies like solar and wind, compared to what goes into that for their return on energy, I call you a straight up fucking liar. Every bit of it. Straight up fucking liar. The return on investment, as far as that goes, as far as what we got now, coal and nuclear are the best return on investment. The more money you put in versus the more energy that comes out. Coal and nuclear still top the fucking list. But on Thursday, the Supreme Court turned thumbs down to any such systemic approach, bringing to life what the court has called the major questions doctrine. The court said neither the EPA nor any other agency may adopt rules that are transformational in the economy unless Congress has specifically authorized such a rule to address a specific problem, like climate change. Climate change! We're killing the planet! I'm so fucking done with stupidity. I'm just so done with stupidity. I really am. I have a short temper for stupid. Like, ignorance is one thing. If you don't know, that's fine. If you're willing to learn about it and educate, great. I applaud that. But when you are willfully fucking stupid, now we have a problem. Let's see. Writing for the court majority, Chief Justice John Roberts said that under what the court has recently called the major questions doctrine, neither the EPA nor any other agency may adopt rules that are transformational to the economy unless Congress has specific. Didn't we just read that shit? You just copy and pasted yet the fuck again. Wow. In certain extraordinary cases, both separate. I guess they gotta meet a words quota with that. So let's just copy and paste and change the beginning of the sentence. Yeah. I mean, how many times did we do that writing shit? Like essays and shit for school. I'm guilty of that. In extraordinary cases, both separation of powers, principles, and practical understanding of legislative intent makes us reluctant to read the ambiguous statutory text. The delegation claimed to be lurking there, Roberts writes. To convince us otherwise, something more than a merely plausible textual bias for the agency's actions is necessary. The agency instead must point to clear congressional authorization for the power it claims. Justice Alina Kagan, in furious dissent, said essentially that the court is making up new rules that contradict nearly a century of regulatory law. Were those regulatory laws falling under the law as it has been written, or were those laws written to help lobbyists who have paid money to get a return on their investment? The corruption runs deep in our government. So all these century of regulatory laws, I mean, periodically we must look back at laws. If we didn't, do you think the 94 crime bill that was passed, you think we'd be still enforcing that if we didn't look at the laws and the outcomes of those laws? The fucking stupidity. The text of the Clean Air Act, she said, clearly anticipates the EPA will have to deal with the new problems and use broad language to allow that. The court majority says does not have a clue about how to address climate change, yet it appoints itself instead of Congress or the expert agency, the decision maker. I want you all to see this. This is framing. This is what we're talking about. Does not have a clue about how to address climate change. ... Because there was probably something in there that they don't want you to know or contradicted what they're trying to frame. Let's continue. Yet it appoints itself instead of Congress or the expert agency. ... What did you leave out? The decision maker on climate policy. I cannot think of many things more frightening. Now, let's read that all together as if it were one statement. does not have a clue about how to address climate change, yet it appoints itself instead of Congress or the expert agency, the decision maker on climate policy. I cannot think of anything more frightening. The framing of that to remove everything in between to try to make your fucking point. To try to point the court as being the enemy. Because of Roe versus Wade, that leak that happened. Nobody had a problem with the Supreme Court up until that moment, and now it's all attack the court, attack the court, attack the court, abolish the court. The court is part of our three branches of government in our representative republic that you all want to call a democracy. But yet, our democracy, this is a danger to our democracy. We must protect democracy. While we try to rip it the fuck apart. And this is what I mean. This is what I mean by willful fucking stupidity. This is what I mean. Just because somebody doesn't agree with what you say and they don't go along with the cult mantra and the cult mindset, it needs to be abolished. Like defund the police. How the fuck did that work out for y'all motherfuckers, huh? Crime rate going through the fucking roof and nobody wants to take accountability for everything. Motherfuckers are gunning people down on the fucking streets now in record fucking numbers. But let's defund the police. Now the Supreme Court doesn't want to do what we want them to do because they're not supposed to do what we want them to do. Let's go ahead and abolish the Supreme Court. Yeah. Let's see. The decision appears to enact major new limits on agency regulations across the economy, limits of a kind of imposed by the court for 75 years or more. The decision, for instance, cast a cloud of doubt over a proposed Securities and Exchange Commission rule that would require companies offering securities to the public to disclose climate-related risks like severe weather events that have or likely will affect their business models. Of course they're going to affect it. Of course they... Stupidity is the real pandemic, and these people fucking prove it. Also in jeopardy is a new interim rule adopted by the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission aimed at treating greenhouse gas emissions and their contribution to the climate change the same as the overall environmental impacts the commission considers. I kind of feel like this climate change witch hunt has gone way too fucking far. The decision was particularly bad omen for environmentalists. It is a very real sense. It seems to reject any holistic regulatory attempt to deal with climate change. Now, the reason all this was brought up was because the Supreme Court limited the authority that the Environmental Protection Agency has to say, you can and cannot do this. Again, the Supreme Court limited the power of the federal government, and yet again, the Supreme Court is under attack. See how this is going? They're trying to lie about everything and make it all look bad because it's a conservative court. Because they're taking power from the federal fucking government and giving it back to you. Y'all get this, right? Y'all see this? This is what's happening. And the cult mantra, one person, one retarded person speaks up. The first retarded person to speak up gets the cult to chant their mantra. Yeah. I am so... I'm done with humanity. As a whole, I am... Like, y'all, once in a while, y'all may give me like a little glimmer of hope. And then for the next 50 fucking thousand years, it's just, where's the asteroid to destroy this fucking planet? I'm willing to let it hit me first. Please. Let it land on top of my fucking head, because I'm done with you dumb sons of bitches. I'll be right back. I gotta grab something. Jesus Christ, guys. It never stops. I gotta change out the pod in my vape. Where is the little... You at? There it is. Nope. Yep. Okay. Stop it. All right. Let's see. I'll throw all this shit away. Get it? Yeah. Like, this isn't a problem for climate change, all this packaging and shit. No. If they didn't want to be targeted, they should have obviously listened to the will of the people instead of the Constitution, especially with the conservative activist court. Well, see, here's the thing. It's not even the will of the fucking people. It's a minority of motherfuckers that are yelling and screaming that are being held up because this is a threat to our democracy. Guess what? Y'all stupid sons of bitches out there, they're not supposed to listen to you. They're supposed to define things how they are written in the law as the law stands. You don't like it? How about you change the law? Oh my God, no. That means we got to do too much. Fuck no. They just need to listen to us. The silent or the loud ass minority of motherfucking people who want to scream, rant, rave that they're not getting their fucking way. But yeah. This is just yet another example of how our school system has fucking failed us. Our educational system has failed the American people. And it's all by design. They're trying to make you stupid. So you follow. They're trying to make you more stupid than them. So you follow them who are functionally retarded. At least they can cut their own meat. They don't even want you to have meat now. Remember, eat the bugs, live in pods? Yeah. Fuck, let's move on. Okay, so there was this petition has gained over 1 million signatures now. The article that I was going to use literally wants me to sign up for it, but it has gained over 1 million signatures now. But this one from the Washington Examiner earlier today, nearly 800,000 signed online petition to impeach SCOTUS Clarence Thomas. Hold on. I want y'all to understand this. They're going after a black man who makes rulings because they affect the black community. Like abortion. I mean, that whole leaked opinion that happened. The vast majority of abortions actually happen in the black community. Yet you want to get rid of a black man who's trying to help your community grow. Let me repeat that for the stupid in the back. You're trying to remove a black man who's trying to help your community grow. All because he says you can't kill babies just because you want to. Margaret Sanger was an avowed racist, started Planned Parenthood. Have you ever wondered why abortion clinics are right outside of black communities? Has that never crossed your fucking mind at all? And you wonder why the vast majority of abortions, her skin color, are black? No, but I'm racist because I'm white talking about it, right? Yeah. Go ahead. I'm a racist white supremacist because I'm talking about the black community and things I don't know about. Even though I live in a black community. Y'all are fucking pathetic. Nearly 800,000 people have signed an online petition calling for Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas to be impeached in the wake of the court's overturning of Roe versus Wade. The progressive advocacy group Move On. What is it? Jane's Revenge is the one firebombing pro-life organizations. The ones crisis prevention or crisis pregnancy centers. The ones who are helping women who are pregnant. They're firebombing. Sorry, I think I just had a stupidity aneurysm there. Oh my God, I am really getting a headache now from all this stupidity. The progressive advocacy group Move On is a sponsor of the petition, which has about 786,000 signatures, The Hill reported. The petition said Thomas should be forced off the high court because of his concurring opinion to the case that overturned Roe, in which he said the right to contraceptive access in same-sex marriages case should also be reviewed. Hey, here's a thought to all you stupid sons of bitches out there that want to argue this. Where in the fuck in the Constitution of the United States of America says you have the right to wear a condom? Or you have the right to same-sex marriage or interracial marriage? Nowhere in the fucking Constitution of the United States of America does it say this, which means 10th Amendment comes back into play. The power goes back to the goddamn states. You stupid sons of bitches. You are literally trying to keep the power from the American people, who overwhelmingly, I doubt there's a single fucking state here that would try to ban same-sex or interracial marriage. You all are the retarded fucking people holding back power coming to the people themselves to change laws to suit them in their own fucking areas. It's your goddamn fault democracy is in danger because you're too fucking stupid. You're too fucking stupid to have a voice that makes any goddamn sense other than cult mantra. Because, hey, somebody said something that I like, even though it's a straight goddamn lie. Let's riot. This is what we're doing. This is what the fuck we're doing. Okay. Plus, the petition said Thomas's wife, Jeannie, actions in urging state legislatures to reject the 2020 election results. That's not what. Y'all are so goddamn dumb. That's not what any of her fucking text messages. You can go ahead and read them yourself. That's not what any of her fucking text messages were saying. You fucking retarded pieces of goddamn human waste. I'm going to get worse than this. This episode is going to get pulled down for harassment and bullying. Let's see. In contact with Trump administration officials, as well as the justice refusing to recuse himself from cases dealing with the January 6, 2021 Capitol insurrection are grounds for his impeachment. Okay. So you're mad because he refuses to step down on cases about January 6th because his wife was saying something doesn't add up here and I don't like this. Y'all better hold the fuck up. Again, no dissenting voice whatsoever is allowed in this hearing. No dissenting voice. And now they're trying to make a man step down. Who would have a dissenting voice? Holy fucking shit. This is a threat to our democracy, ladies and gentlemen. This is a threat to our democracy. You know that cult mantra y'all like to fucking chant every goddamn day on every news station? This is it. Planned Parenthood is obviously in black communities so they can help them. It's not racist. What's racist is the black man who sold himself to the white man and his white wife by throwing his people. What's racist, Abel? I'm so fucking done with you already, dude. You're not even here and I'm done with you. Thomas's failure to recuse himself warrants immediate investigation and heightened alarm. His failure to say, I don't want to hear this because of my wife, who thinks there's something wrong, just like, what is it, 65% of Americans, lowball number, just like 65% of Americans have a problem with the 2020 election? Yeah, because he doesn't want to step down because 65% of Americans are questioning. He doesn't want to step down. Now, all of a sudden, y'all want him off the bench. Wow. I wonder how much the petition to impeach Joe Biden, I wonder how many signatures that has. That's an actual thing. There are multitudes of those. I wonder how many signatures they have. I wonder how many signatures they have for having Joe Biden and Kamala Harris retire from politics. Might be an interesting look to see that. Yet those were never talked about, huh? But you're going after a black man who says, hey, y'all don't be killing your babies for no fucking reason anymore. Okay? Yeah, you can't be doing that. You have no right to do that. Not in the Constitution. Stupidity is the pandemic of this fucking planet. And here we go. Let's see. Statement that I'm not even gonna fucking. We're almost done. Okay. A statement to the petition reads: The Hill reported, and it's only the latest in a long history of conflicts of interest in the service of a right-wing agenda and mixing his powerful role with his conservative political activism. What the fuck have y'all been doing since fucking Trump hit office? Huh? What? No, let's not talk about that shit, right? No. Let's not talk about that. The rioting, the looting, the protest, Black Lives Matter, Antifa, May 29th, 2020. They tried to burn down the fucking White House. They set fire to the church across the fucking street. But yet a black man saying y'all can't kill your babies just for whatever fucking reason because it's not covered in the Constitution. And my wife, just like 65%, low ball number, 65% of America, questions what happened in 2020. Y'all want him gone. I was going to ask if y'all are fucking stupid, but overwhelmingly fucking yes. I don't mean y'all listen viewers or anything like that, of course. I'm just talking about America as a whole. The population of America has starting to become less than functionally retarded. Let's see, where was I? He has shown he cannot be an impartial justice and is more concerned with covering up his wife's coup attempts. Oh, his wife! His wife did coup attempts by sending text messages saying, what the fuck is going on? His wife's coup attempts. Never mind the fact that Nancy Pelosi on January 7th went to the Joint Chiefs of Staff and said, if Trump gives you any order, do not listen to him, for he's a deranged lunatic. And the Joint Chiefs of Staff then looked at him and said, man, we cannot do that because that would be tantamount to a military coup. Your fucking military coup came from Pelosi, her goddamn self. And y'all want to sit there and throw coup attempt at every single person that speaks up. And y'all wonder why you're losing this cultural and political fucking war. It's the same shit over and over again. You pick up the ammo that has been thrown at you and throw back, thinking it's going to do damage. That's spent fucking ammo, and y'all sons of bitches still continue to do it. God damn. Okay. He must resign or Congress must immediately investigate and impeach. Oh. So can we impeach Pelosi for her insider trading? Can we impeach AOC for lying about every goddamn thing she has ever fucking said from that horse mouth? Can we can we impeach AOC for everything she's lied about? Can we impeach AOC for lying about where she was and her involvement in January 6th? 7 blocks away in her goddamn in her office, and she was supposed to be evacuated because of a bomb threat, where then she ran away knowing goddamn well she was breaking protocol, ran away, and then tried to frame the cop that was looking for her to take her to safety as a man who wanted to kill her, and then stood in front of everybody in Congress and saying Ted Cruz wanted to have her murdered while she was nowhere near the fucking Capitol. Every time that bitch runs her fucking mouth, she proves my point that stupidity is the real fucking pandemic of this planet. And y'all eat it up. Not y'all. But you know what I'm saying. The colloquial. Y'all. The petition has gained traction and some members of Congress, including speaking of horse mouth, including at AOC, have called for Supreme Court justices who provided misleading answers on Roe v. Wade to senators during their own confirmation hearings to be impeached for lying under oath. Did they lie under oath? Or did they give their real thoughts about it? And you just took whatever you wanted from their thoughts. This is the member of the squad. Y'all want to sit there and ultra MAGA, the MAGA king. Yet you have a fucking squad of communists and socialists that y'all praise. Okay. God damn the stupidity. This is stupid. This is fucking stupid. Hey, y'all. Idiocracy was supposed to be a comedy, not a documentary. We're going to move on. Give me a second. I got to grab another drink because, oh, this is going to be a thing. See more videos. Okay, so we're going to get into the Jalen Walker situation. Now at the end of this article here, we're going to I haven't really looked into this a lot myself, so this is going to be kind of news to me. But we've also got some body cam footage that we're going to go through here. I don't know what to think about this off the top of my head. The dude was shot at least 60 times. Okay. Jalen Walker suffered at least 60 wounds in the fatal police shooting. Akron police chief says, I'm starting to develop the drunken hiccups because I've drank too fast. As authorities release body cam footage. Oh, we're going to take a look at that body cam footage. We're definitely going to do that. 25-year-old. Whoop. The framing, here we go again. A 25-year-old black man. Now, if that was a white man, number one, it probably wouldn't be reported. Number two, they damn sure wouldn't bring up the color of skin. But a 25-year-old black man suffered at least 60 wounds when police officers fatally shot him last week following a high-speed chase during which the man fired a gun out the driver's side window. Okay. Okay. Wait a minute. Let's keep that in mind. He fired a gun out the driver's side window while in a high-speed pursuit. Bit of information. Let's go ahead and stick that over here. We'll recall that later. Jalen Walker was unarmed at the time he was killed. So him firing a gun outside of a goddamn... No, let's bring it back. Let's bring this back. He's shooting a gun out of a window during a high-speed pursuit. But somehow it's wrong that he was killed while he was unarmed. Okay, if you're shooting a gun at me, I don't give a goddamn if you've left your gun in your car or not. You motherfucker, I'm going to treat you like you're still armed and dangerous. Let's go. Though the gun was recovered from his car after the shooting, Akron, Ohio Police Chief Stephen Myatt said at a news conference Sunday when police released large portions of body camera video from the 13 officers who were at the scene, prompting more questions about Walker's death June 27th. The shooting remains under investigation by the Ohio Bureau of Criminal Investigations. According to Myatt, 8 police officers fired their weapons following the vehicle pursuit and a short foot chase, believing Walker was turning towards them, reaching towards his waist and moving into firing position. You've already shot at me, motherfucker. I mean, if you take off fucking running and then all of a sudden you stop and turn the fuck around, I'm not thinking you gave up. Because if you were going to do that, you'd have fallen to the ground, laid flat on your fucking face, put your hands behind your head, instead of stopping dead in your fucking tracks, turning around and reaching for your waist. Okay. You know, I'm starting to see a lot of similarities between a lot of the things that BLM rioted over in 2020. Here we go. We've time warped back into fucking time. 2020 all over again. God fucking damn it. While a medical examiner's report found Walker suffered at least 60 wounds, the medical examiner is still working to determine how many times he was shot and which wounds are entrance wounds and which are exit wounds. Okay, so if it's at least 60, which are entrance and exits, that means the dude was probably shot anywhere between 30, probably 40 times. Okay, let's be honest. There's probably still some bullets left on the body. But entrance wounds and exit wounds are from one bullet. Oh, my God. You get the framing now? You get the framing? Because you read the title. Oh, dude was shot 60 fucking times. No, the fuck he wasn't. No, the fuck he wasn't. But because you didn't read any further than the headline. Yeah, here we go. The BCI has yet to confirm the number of times Walker was shot, Milet said, and is still not known how many rounds police officers fired. However, based on the video, I anticipate the number to be high, he said. A lot of rounds were fired. The incident began around 12:30 a.m. last Monday when police said Walker fled as officers attempted to initiate a traffic stop for traffic and equipment violations. About 40 seconds after the pursuit began, police say a gunshot was fired from Walker's vehicle. So this dude was pulled over for a traffic stop, and probably because he didn't use his blinker or whatever. Then he took off and started shooting a gun out of his window. Let me say that again. For the tards in the back, let me say that again. This motherfucker was pulled over for probably something fucking stupid. Probably not using his turn signal. Maybe the turn signal was broken. Whatever. It doesn't matter. From that traffic stop, he took off and in less than a minute shot at the police through the window of the car he was driving. For a goddamn traffic stop. Now, let's be honest. He probably didn't do that because he was pulled over. He probably didn't fear for his life because he's a black man being pulled over. He probably did it because he didn't want to go to jail for outstanding warrants of crimes probably related to what he just did. Let's be honest here. Let's see. That changes the whole nature of the traffic stop, Milet said Sunday. It went from being a routine traffic stop to now a public safety issue. Yes! And the pursuit continued. Yes! The fact that he is discharging a fucking weapon while driving, not being able to accurately aim that weapon, those bullets gotta go somewhere, motherfuckers. They don't just disappear just because they don't hit. This ain't a fucking video game. Those bullets travel. What else was hit? Who else was hit? After several minutes, Walker got out of his car and fled on foot, police said. Officers deployed tasers, Milet said, but they were unsuccessful in subduing Walker. The incident ended soon after when, according to a police timeline, Walker stopped and quickly turned to the officers, and officers discharged their weapons. At least one officer can be heard near the end of the video that were released shouting, "Cease fire." The 8 officers who Milet said were directly involved in the shooting had all been placed on paid administrative leave per police department, according to information released by the city. 7 of the officers are white and 1 is black. Oh, well, thank you for bringing that up. Really, I'm going to be honest. Thank you for bringing that up. One of the officers that shot him was black. The video is something that they should never ever have to be seen, Ken Arnabo, an attorney for Walker's family, said at the separate news conference Sunday. Each time I've watched the video, it's gotten worse for me. Every movement that I seen, every shot that I heard, every time I seen Jalen lying on the ground gets more and more horrific. Maybe don't shoot at the police if they're trying to pull you over. Let me say this again. Maybe don't shoot at the police when they try to pull you over. I mean, you're not going to. Shit, that was fucking heartless as hell. But I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. I mean, if you were stupid enough to shoot out your goddamn window at police, I'm done with society. I'm done with everybody as a whole that tried to paint this as some innocent black guy again that got shot. Motherfucker, we debunked damn near every fucking one of the killings in 2020 that y'all motherfuckers tried to riot about, and here we go again with the same damn dumb shit. Enough is enough. The video released by police includes footage from the body-worn cameras of 13 officers who were at the scene. According to the police, the events that led to the shooting began around 12:30 a.m. when the police attempted to stop Walker, who was driving a silver Buick, for traffic and equipment violations. About 40 seconds after, here we go. I guess this is the word count kind of situation. About 40 seconds after Walker drove away from the police, a sound consistent with a gunshot can be heard on the body-worn cameras of the officers. Police said a narrated video timeline of the incident. Police also said a flash of light could be seen from the driver's side of the car at the time of the sound. So this motherfucker was shooting out of his window while driving a car. You can't aim and drive at the same fucking time. Okay. Milet said officers retrieved the shell casings near the scene the attempted traffic stop that was consistent with the firearm that Mr. Walker had in his vehicle. The BCI will determine whether or not the casing came from the gun or not. He added that a traffic camera captured what we believe to be a muzzle flash coming out of the car. Again, the BCI will be determining whether or not that is the case. Toward the end of the pursuit, some of the footage shows the silver car Walker was driving stopped before he begins to exit the driver's seat of the vehicle. At least one officer shouts, "Let me see your hands," and tells him not to move. The video shows Walker getting back into the car, which slowly moves forward. Then he is seen getting out of the passenger side door and running from the officers. Hold up. The video shows Walker getting back into the car, which slowly moves forward. He is then seen getting out of the passenger side door and running from... What? So this motherfucker got back into his car and then jumped across the car to get out. To get out of the passenger side. What sense does this make? I mean, in a situation like this, yeah, you're going to do a lot of stupid shit, but that tops the fucking cake, son. What? Okay. The police narration of the video says officers attempted to safely take the suspect into custody by deploying their tasers, and shows a still frame of an officer deploying a taser. The taser were unsuccessful, and Walker continued to run, the narration says. Guess what? Guess fucking... I need a haircut again. Apparently, these little things are sticking out. Guess what? That's what adrenaline does for you. You're not going to feel pain. Your literal nerve endings. Stop sending signals to the brain because adrenaline and endorphins are running through your system, blocking these receptors. That's what happens. Biology, bitches! Look at the fuck up. At least one officer yells for Walker to show his hands. One of the videos shows the foot chase continued for several seconds. At one point, Walker stopped and quickly turned towards the pursuing officers. Officer reacted by discharging their firearm, striking the suspect. Dozens of gunshots are heard over 7 seconds, and as officers fire at Walker, a number of videos show. I mean, you just fucking shot at him. It doesn't say how many times, but you just fucking shot at him, so you're willing to prove to them that you are willing to end them. Goddamn, son. You shot at me. I'm not stopping till my fucking clip is gone, and I'm going to reload and do it again just to make sure. You are showing me that you are willing to end my life for stupid reasons. Yeah. And you are showing that you have absolutely no regard for human life because you shot out the window of your fucking car. Just randomly shooting a gun. What about the pedestrians? What about the other drivers? What about people that were on the road at that point in time? You didn't give a fuck about their lives. You damn sure didn't, because you didn't want to be arrested. Okay. The shooting ends after at least one officer shouts, "Ceasefire," 3 times. Police said the images of Walker as he was shot have been blurred at the request of the family. But in some of the footage, he appears to be on the ground as gunfire continues. Walker died from multiple gunshot wounds to the face, abdomen, and upper legs. CNN affiliate News Wews reported, citing findings by its media partner, the Akron Beacon Journal. The journal, which was allowed to review and investigate worksheets at the medical examiner's office, said it indicated that Walker was observed laying on his back and was in handcuffs when a medical examiner investigator arrived at the shooting scene. A handgun and loaded magazine were found in Walker's car after the shooting, police said, along with a gold ring. So just because this dude left his gun in his car, at this point, it's uncertain if he had a gun on him. But just because this dude left his gun in his car, that police have no idea that that happened because they're still chasing the armed subject. Just because of that, he shouldn't be shot. Motherfucker, I'm white. If I were to do that to police, I'd expect them to gun me the fuck down. If I were to do that to civilians, I'd expect y'all to gun me the fuck down. Let's stop being fucking stupid for once in our fucking lives, please. A handgun and a loaded magazine. Oh, yeah, we read that. Walker's family calls for change. Of course they do. Of course they do. Because criminals can't be held liable for their actions anymore here in America. I'm going to go ahead and I know this is way off subject because I didn't see this one come through. Abel, you can't blame people. The current right-wing activist Supreme Court is filled with 5 white men, 1 Spanish woman, 2 white women, and the first black justice who isn't a biologist. What the fuck is Clarence Thomas? Is he supposed to be a white man? Because I think he's black. He's actually one of the very few on the Supreme Court justice that I fucking like. He's been badass since he actually fucking sat on that bench, even beforehand. But yeah. Think you got that a little mixed up, bro. But yeah, you are now talking about Ketanji Brown Jackson, who is lenient on pedophiles. 80% of her cases were lenient on pedophiles. She now sits on that fucking court, all because she's a black woman. Good job, diversity, inclusion, and equity, or whatever the fuck it is. Good job. Which, by the way, she was appointed by Biden because she is a black woman. Want to prove me wrong? Look it up. That's exactly what the fuck he said. That's exactly what he said. I'm looking for black women. And now we got Ketanji Brown Jackson. Good fucking job, Biden. Walker's family wants him to be remembered as a fun-loving young man who was full of life, said Robert DeJarnett, a relative of the pastor of St. Ashworth Temple Church of God in Christ. We're God-fearing folk who believe in God, and we want to exemplify that even in this process, we don't want any rioting or anything like that. If you're God-fearing folk who believe in God, then why the fuck was your son shooting at police? That is the quickest way to meet your fucking maker, if that's a goddamn thing. One of the quickest fucking ways, other than self-deletion, that is the quickest way to meet your maker. Other than trying to have shit on Hillary Clinton. Apparently, the family hopes the shooting will lead to change. Yeah, it's going to lead to change. It's going to lead to a lot of stupidity happening yet the fuck again. We want to take that and we want to use it for the benefit of systemic change. You want systemic change. I'm reserve my judgment and I want to hear more about what you think systemic change is. Because historically, systemic change was black supremacy. That's what you wanted. Now, I'm not saying this family wants that. But when you talk about systemic change because of systemic racism, that's what it points to. We want to be treated like human beings, you know? Black men, young men, they're afraid when it comes to police. They shouldn't be. White men are afraid of fucking police. Jesus Christ, a revelation here, huh? Every time I'm pulled the fuck over, guess what? My legs go numb. And I start thinking in the back of my head, what have I done? What have I fucking done? Jesus Christ, I got pulled over and hauled to jail for my license being suspended for 3 fucking years. And I was pulled over 5 different times in that 3 fucking years. But my license was suspended. And I still got hauled off to jail for my license being suspended for 3 fucking years that I had absolutely no idea about. Yes, I'm a white man. My legs go fucking numb when I'm pulled over. Because I start going through from my fucking birth up until that point. What have I done? Everybody deals with that shit. It's not a black thing. It's a human thing. God damn. While the family wants answers from the police, they also want the public to give peace, give dignity, and give justice to a chance for Jalen. Attorneys for Walker's family said after police released the footage, Walker had never broken the law a day in his life. I call fucking bullshit. Bull fucking shit, son, motherfucker. Oh, we going redneck as fuck. No, I seriously call bullshit on this. I call bullshit on this. Never broken the law. I'm not going to get into the nuances of like jaywalking and shit like that. No. You're telling me? Hold on. Where was this? Ohio, Akron, Ohio. You're telling me that motherfucker had a legally registered firearm that was registered to him that he legally bought? You're telling me that he never sold drugs? You're telling me that he didn't do a fucking thing wrong? You'd be 0.0000001% of fucking society then, son. Shut the fuck up with that stupid ass he ain't did nothing claim. God damn. Black, white, Puerto Rican, Asian, alien. I don't give a goddamn who you are. Y'all motherfuckers break laws on a daily goddamn basis, and most of you don't even realize it. Stupid laws aside, you still break laws on a daily goddamn basis. Why? Because it's the adrenaline rush. It's the chance of being caught that drives you to do it. So you're going to sit there and he ain't did nothing. He ain't did. How many times did we hear that fucking claim before? This motherfucker shot at police outside of his goddamn car because he was pulled over for a simple traffic violation. What the fuck was he running from? It ain't because he was scared for his life, because he knows goddamn well that's what's going to end his life. He knows it. Stop playing stupid ass fucking games. Akron Police Union believes the officers involved in the shooting were justified in their actions, including with number of shots fired. In the heat of the moment, you're not really going to realize the fact that you emptied a clip. You don't realize you emptied the clip until you hear that click, 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 click several times. You're not going to. Do you expect them to count every single bullet that leaves that chamber? Well, I got a dude who may be shooting them back? No, I'm not going to expect it either, because I'm damn sure not going to count the rounds that come out of my chamber. I'm going to hear that click, 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 empty, reload, click, 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 empty, reload. Let's go. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm listening for. I'm not counting fucking rounds or even counting the rounds that come back to me. Let's just stop. Stop with the stupidity. You expect these motherfuckers to be superhuman. Not to mention the fact that defund the police took all the good cops out of it, and now this is what you got left, ladies and gentlemen. The people who are on the police force now, the people who are getting into the police force now, are the same motherfuckers you were complaining about because you wanted to demonize police. Now you may have an argument now that all of this country could get behind, because you let the good people, you demonize the good people, and you left the bad that still sit there. Something tells me that's what you wanted, though. Let's see. The decision to deploy lethal force, as well as the number of shots fired, is consistent with the use for force protocols and officers' training. Each officer is cooperating fully with the independent investigation conducted by the BCI, the statement said. Ahead of the release of the... Oh my God. Okay, we're almost done. Ahead of the release of the footage, Akron officials asked the community to be patient and allow the investigation to be carried out while protesting peacefully if they wish to demonstrate. I won't mince words. The video you are about to watch is heartbreaking and is very tough to take in, Mayor Dan Horrigan said in the news conference ahead of the release of the footage. The mayor acknowledges the right of Akron residents to protest, but I hope the community can agree that violence and destruction are not the answer. Thank you. Even the family is like, nah, we don't want this to happen. I appreciate you. I really, really fucking do. I really do. I appreciate the hell out of that. But it's sad that something like this happens and the first words out of your mouth are, don't riot. Please be patient and let the Attorney General do their work, he said. Cheerleaders underscore the footage that was released under a new city ordinance that requires video footage documenting an active police officer's use of force to be released within 7 days of the incident. Mata said the city welcomes police peaceful protests, but is prepared if demonstrators turn violent. We have developed an operations plan to manage and provide safe space in this city for people to protest. And in case that turns to a situation where it is no longer peaceful, we have an operations plan in place for that as well. I'm not going to discuss any of the details about that. Shut it the fuck down. If it gets to that point, you shut it the fuck down. America's tired of the dumb shit. All right, so we're through with that. Let's go ahead and take a look at the body cam footage. Y'all give me a second. I gotta go to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
On Monday, June 27, 2022, at 12:30 in the morning, Akron police officers attempted to stop a silver Buick on East Talmadge Avenue near Thayer Street. Officers informed dispatch that the reason for the stop was for a traffic violation as well as an equipment violation. The driver of the vehicle refused to stop, and officers initiated a vehicle pursuit as the vehicle was nearing the East Talmadge Avenue entrance ramp to Route 8 southbound. Approximately 40 seconds after the driver of the vehicle fled from the attempted stop, a sound consistent with a gunshot can be heard on the body-worn cameras of the officers. Officers notified dispatch that a shot came out of the suspect's car door.
Getting on to 8 south of Talmadge. Reason for stop was traffic and equipment violation. 21 shots fired. That vehicle just had a shot come out of its door.
At the time of the sound, a flash of light can be seen
one
along
shot.
the driver's side of the suspect vehicle.
Hold up. Wait.
Shots fired. That vehicle just had a shot come out of its door.
At the time of the sound, of
Did it go too far? Yep. Okay.
it can be seen.
We're slowing this down.
Along the driver's side of the suspect vehicle.
Aw. Sound drunk, just like me. Okay, so there's the cop turning. Comes into this frame. Yep. I can see it. Very, very faint, but you can see a muzzle flash just as he passes his sign. Watch it. The windows are black. There it is. There is a muzzle flash right there. From his window. Yes. Yes. He did shoot from the fucking car. There is a muzzle flash coming from that vehicle. Yes, there is.
The vehicle pursuit continued on the expressway for several minutes, and the suspect vehicle exited onto the Archwood Avenue ramp. The pursuit proceeded through several city streets until he neared the intersection of East Wilbeth Road and Claremont Street. At that point, the driver slowed down and exited through the passenger side door of the moving vehicle wearing a ski mask.
Hold up. Again. Why? Why are you going through the passenger side door wearing a ski mask? Hold the fuck up. What? See, this wasn't brought up in the news article that we read. He's wearing a fucking ski mask. Why? Okay. So this raises a lot of questions for me. Number one, why did you have that ski mask on you? When the cops pulled you over, why did you have that ski mask on you? It's motherfucking summertime. You can't say it's cold outside. You can't fucking claim that. Why the hell did you have that ski mask on you? And why the hell, when you're driving, did you put that ski mask on?
The suspect fled from the vehicle on foot, turning and facing officers momentarily. He continued to run, evading arrest. Officers attempted to safely take the suspect into custody by deploying their tasers.
Slow this down. So we can pretty much capture this frame by frame. Okay, so this is the taser in his hand. That flash right there is the deployment.
The deployment of tasers was unsuccessful, and the suspect continued to flee on foot. As the foot chase reached the nearby parking lot, the suspect stopped and quickly turned towards the pursuing officers.
Okay, so this is a still frame where he turned around. At this point, it does kind of seem like he's going for his waist. But from a standpoint, I mean, if you're quickly turning around and shit, you're going to have your hands at your waist, kind of at least, adjusting the shifting weight as you were quickly turning at that point. So, what is this? Oh, that's the officer. Okay.
Officers reacted by discharging their firearms, striking the suspect. Under visual inspection of the suspect's vehicle, a handgun, a loaded magazine for a handgun, and what appears to be a gold wedding ring were observed in plain view on the driver's seat.
Why? You're telling me this son of a bitch got back into his vehicle, put everything down on the driver's side, and then exited the passenger side? I have questions about that. I really do. Why would he take off his wedding ring and put it on the seat? I mean, if I'm being chased by police and I know goddamn well that they may shoot me, I'm not going to take my wedding ring off. That just seems like a waste of fucking time. I do have questions about that then. Oh, that looks conveniently fucking placed. That is a shell casing right there. That looks spent, honestly. That looks conveniently fucking placed, though. If I'm trying to rush out of a fucking vehicle, like if I get out of the driver's side and then get back in to get out the passenger side, I'm not going to conveniently place this shit there. As a matter of fact, I'm not going to place it in the driver's seat at all. If anything, I'm just going to throw it and run, you know? So yeah, that is a spent cartridge. Can't really tell. But from what I can, yeah, it does seem like it's one of the cartridges that came out. But then again, that dude was pointing in the gun out the window when he fired that round. So could the wind have pushed it back in? I don't know, but that's questionable as well.
Body-worn cameras do not provide a 360-degree or three-dimensional view. We will now play 13 body-worn camera videos.
All right. No. There we go.
Still westbound a little bit. We're passing Evergreen. We're heading towards Maine. Looks like we have some units up ahead at the intersection of Maine. He's slowing down here, slowing down. Stop. It's your fucking head! It's your fucking head! Don't you fucking move the car!
Back it up a hair. Not that much. All right, he's getting back in the vehicle at this point. He is back in, shutting the door. At this point, the door is shut. He tries to drive off a little. Comes to a stop again. Still rolling. I believe that's idle rolling at that point because he ain't moving that fast. What is this on the ground right here? Yo, I can't point at it, like right there, right above the red line there. What is that? All right, so the dude is jumping to the other side of the vehicle at this point. He gets out of the car and starts to run off. Tasers are out. Oh. Jesus Christ, it's hard to follow with your eyes. All right, he's turning around at this point. Turns around. All right, he's still running wildly. This cop does have a taser out. This cop has his taser out. The one body camera footage we're looking at, the taser is out. You can see the red line, the laser points. At this point, he's starting to stop. He gets lost in the shaking. But he's literally right there, almost in the middle of the screen. Turns around. That does kind of look like he's grabbing his waist. Grabbing for his waist. He's rolling.
Move! Some fucking move! Show me your hands! Show me your fucking hands! Show me your fucking hands!
Hold up. Yes. Yes, in that camera footage, you could see that cop actually drop his magazine and reach for another one. Let's look at video 2.
602 on West on Wilbus with Firestone. Drag it in. We're still westbound on Wilbus. We're passing Evergreen. We're heading towards Maine. Looks like we have some units up ahead at the intersection of Maine. He's slowing down here, slowing down.
They were doing about 40 miles an hour.
We're still westbound Wilbeth. We're passing Evergreen. We're heading towards Maine. Looks like we have some units up ahead at the intersection of Maine. He's slowing down here, slowing down.
You can see him get back into the car on that one.
Hey, don't fucking move! Don't fucking move! Fucking move! Don't fucking
I mean, I'm going to be a little bit honest. That does seem like excessive. But hindsight being 2020 kind of situation, I mean, if that was you, you were any one of those cops. I mean, you pull that trigger and so that mag's gone. I mean, that's what most people do. There's no audio to this one? Where's your hand, son? Okay, so your hand is on the top of the steering wheel. Okay. Why is your arm blurred out, though? That was from long range. She didn't do anything. Okay, we're in the passenger seat of this vehicle.
602 on westbound Wilbeth and Firestone. Try to get in. We're still westbound Wilbeth. We're passing Evergreen. We're heading towards Maine. Looks like we have some units up ahead at the intersection of Maine. He's slowing down here, slowing down.
Don't fucking move! Stop fucking moving! Stop moving! Stop moving! Watch it! Stop moving! Show your fucking ass!
I'm willing to say that is a bit excessive. Of course, no sound with this one either. Okay, so this dude has an AR with him. Okay, so he showed up after all that. Okay. And again, no sound at the beginning. No sound on any of this? Okay, there you go. That's after the fact. Still no sound. I'm going to say that is incredibly excessive, but then again, in the heat of the fucking moment, kind of situation, as soon as one shot's fired, that's what you do. You point and you empty the fucking mag. The fact that he just kept rolling and kept moving. The fact that he kept trying to roll is the biggest problem, because that indicated to the officers that you're still alive, you're still doing something, you still want to fight. Okay. And apparently no sound or video. What the hell? Like, this is not something. This is just, there we go. Okay, now we got something. No sound on this one, apparently. There we go. All right. From that one, the dude was not moving, and they still continued to pump rounds. Hold on. Let's go back and look. Sound comes on. All right, so here we go. Dude's down. Dude's down. And they continue. Until that point. Doesn't seem a bit excessive. Does seem a bit excessive from that. Especially with all those cops shooting at that point in time. This ain't the fucking Matrix. That motherfucker is not surviving this shit. As soon as he hit the ground, I would have stopped. Granted, as soon as he hit the ground, there is that chance that he could have come back and pulled the gun and shot a few more times, but I would have at least stopped at that point. Unless he posed a bigger threat by letting off another round or so. Because let's be honest, that motherfucker's already hurt. He's bleeding. He's been shot a few times. That motherfucker ain't aiming shit. So if he pulls a gun and he's going to shoot, that bullet's going to go random directions. Now, okay, you can argue, what about the people in the back? What about the people around? Bystanders, things like that. You have a point. But I do not see him being a threat as soon as he hit the ground. Especially with that many people shooting. I don't see him being a threat.
602 on West on Wilbur, Firestone, can I get in? We're still westbound on Wilbur. We're passing Evergreen. We're heading towards Maine. Looks like we have some units up ahead at the intersection of Maine. He's slowing down here, slowing down. Stop.
I don't feel like this is going to be anything. Oh, wait. He was the rightmost officer so far. Yeah, I don't see that guy being a threat as soon as he hit the ground, especially with that many officers firing, like I said. But again, at the heat of the moment, I mean, you should be letting off everything you got, you know?
Still westbound on Wilbur. We'll be passing Glen Mount. Speeds are 55 miles per hour.
Okay, so he's doing regular. Why did you cut the sound? Hold up. Why the fuck did you cut the sound at that point? Oh, this one's ready. He's got his weapon ready. Well, then again, he also did already fire at least one shot. I'd be ready too. That's nothing. That's nothing. You can't determine shit from that. He only let off a few rounds, and then he stopped. Whoever video 12 was, he let off 1, 2, maybe 3 rounds, and then he was done. Got a handgun. See, he lets off just a couple, and then he draws his weapon back. He put it down. Whoever that officer was did it actual fucking right.
602 on West on Wilbur and Firestone dragging
That dude had some badass situational awareness at that point.
We're still westbound Wilbur. We're passing Evergreen. We're heading towards Maine. Looks like we have some units up ahead at the intersection of Maine. He's slowing down here, slowing down.
Yeah, see, see, he already hit the ground. Yes, he is rolling. That should have been the end of it. That should have been the end of it. The dude's already he's already gone at that point. It doesn't matter. You know, even if he's still surviving to roll around a little bit, that dude is already fucking gone. There's too many shots that have already rang out at that point. Even if every single one of them didn't strike him, the majority of them did. And again, he stopped. He stopped. And they continue to pump him full of fucking lead. And again, in that moment, I'd have done the same. I'd have done the same. I'm not counting rounds while this son of a bitch could actually shoot me. You know what I'm saying? See, he's done. And they continue. Yeah, that was a little excessive. A little. I mean, that was beyond excessive at that point. From that camera angle, yes. The dude stopped moving and they continued to shoot him.
The 8 officers involved in this incident have between 1.5 and 6 years of experience with the Akron Police Department. Per department policy, all of the officers were immediately placed on paid administrative leave. At the request of the Akron Police Department, the investigation will be conducted by the Ohio Bureau of Criminal Investigation. At the completion of the investigation, the case will be turned over to the Ohio Attorney General's office for review before being presented to the Summit County Grand Jury. A separate internal investigation will be conducted by the Akron Police Office of Professional Standards and Accountability. The results of the internal investigation will be submitted to the Chief of Police and the City of Akron Police Auditor for review.
One thing I do want to know is how many shots were fired from each officer. Because that one that we saw where he just let off a few rounds and he stopped, you have my respect. You do. You have my respect. But every single one of them that fired continuously, even after he stopped moving. Nah, that was unwarranted. That was unwarranted. So in this case, there could be an argument either way. And this one's gonna be interesting to see how this plays out. Of course, you know how the people are gonna be. I do think that was a little bit. Fuck, that was incredibly excessive. From that, as soon as the dude hit the ground, you could have fired a few more times as he was rolling, and that'd have been okay. One, maybe 2 more shots from each gun, because you know they're hitting their mark, or damn close to it. If not, the ricochet is going to get him too. But as they continued to fire, when he stopped moving, that was excessive as shit. And that was too much. But then again, in the heat of the moment, you're not counting shots. You're not looking at that. You're looking to end it. You're looking to end the mag. The magazine is your moment of pause to just be like, should I continue? The fact that we did see somebody actually empty their mag, eject it, and reach for another, I go a little bit excessive on that one. I will consider that one excessive. The cop that pumped a few rounds out and then stopped and dropped his gun, like you can see him point. I know the camera's fucked up. The green screen's fucked. You can see him point, and then he drops his hand like that. Big ups to that officer. You pumped a few rounds out and you knew the threat was over. Every single one of you that still continued to fire as he stopped rolling, y'all need to be gone. Now, it's hard to tell who did who or who did what at that point in time. But you can tell by how much ammo they had at the beginning of the shift and how much ammo they had at the end of the shift. You can tell who did what, how many shots were actually fired. You can tell by forensics where the shots came from, where they entered, where they exited, things like that. This is a big iffy. This is a huge iffy with this one. Like I said, you know, the cop that literally pointed his gun, fired a few times, and then dropped his weapon. I'm not going to hold him to account. But every single officer that continued to fire after the dude had stopped moving, in the heat of the moment, I got you. I understand. but you knew it was not a threat no longer. And you continued to fire. I mean, hell, the ones with the ARs didn't even let off a single round. The 2 body camera footages with people with ARs, and they didn't let off a single fucking round. That was all handgun. So you can bullshit stop at that whole AR argument. Don't even try to say high-powered rifles were involved. No, the fuck they weren't. They were not involved. That was all handgun. Every bit of that. It's going to be interesting to see how this one plays out, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not going to lie. I'm interested to see how this plays out because going through that, I can make arguments for and I can make arguments against. The arguments for, the dude already showed he was going to be violent. I mean, he shot out the window before he even stopped that fucking car. The picture of the gun in the vehicle, I guarantee you the gun and the mag and the ring, like, why the fuck did you take off your wedding ring? Number one, like that should never been a thing. I don't even know why that crossed your mind to do that, but it's a moot fucking point with that one. But the gun, the mag, and the ring being on the driver's seat, that was the cop placing that there to get a picture of all of that, what was found in the vehicle. The dude did stop. He did turn around, and it did look like he was grabbing for his waistband. Could there have been another weapon on him? Maybe. They don't say anything about it. They don't say that he did have another weapon on him. They don't say that he did have something else. Your guess is as good as mine on that shit. The fact that they continued to pump rounds in him after he was rolling on the ground, and when he stopped, they continued to keep firing. That's excessive shit. But that wasn't every single officer. It's going to be interesting to see how this one plays out. I thought this was going to be, like I said, I haven't looked into this as far as this is just like straight off the fucking cuff. Brought up the news. I heard about it, brought up the news article, read the article, found the police footage from this. There's arguments on both sides for this one. It really is. This isn't an open and shut kind of case. This isn't mixed words. This isn't a type where it's just going to be like, oh, you're straight up fucking lying about that. No. There's arguments to be had here. But we've been going at this for like, I've been going at this for like 3 hours. It's getting dark here soon. We got some 4th of July celebrations going on. Go ahead and get off. And I'm gonna think about this while I'm watching the fireworks tonight, because there's some arguments here on both sides. There is some arguments here. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate y'all watching. I appreciate every single one of you with the comments and the reacts and everything like that. Smash that like button. I fucking forgot to say it at the beginning. Smash that like button, ladies and gentlemen. Let our show start getting out there so we can have actual real conversations, unfiltered, organic conversations with people like you. So we can understand exactly what you think and how you feel about situations like this. So we can go through this kinds of things with you and understand from the general public's perspective about how you feel. Not from the media. Not from what they want to tell us. I want to understand what you think. Come and join us. Have a conversation with us. Let's talk. I should have said that at the beginning of the show, but I didn't. But make sure you smash that like button. Share this with your friends. Let's get to talking, ladies. We're missing that now. Let's get to talking about things like this. But until then, y'all have a good night. And remember one thing. If anything, you remember this one thing. You have a voice. And it's important. Please, sit down. Let's have a talk. Y'all have a good night. We'll see you again very, very soon.